Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Matt, and today I want to talk about one of the biggest things that you can do right now to get better at the language that you're learning, and that is word acquisition. Learn more words, more vocabulary. This is probably the single biggest thing that you can do right now to get better at the language that you're learning. It can get you over those plateaus that you're facing, but also it can take you to the next level with whatever level you are at. And this is especially relevant if you're a beginner or even the intermediate phase, where really the name of the game is word acquisition. And to be honest with you, when you learn a foreign language, probably one of the biggest aspects is learning a ton of words, and not only learning those words and being exposed to them, but getting them into your subconscious, your long-term memory, where it's just this automatic reflex, right? So we always want to be focused on learning a ton of words, right? There's different ways to acquire words, but we always want to be focused on that idea, right? So let's talk about this, right? The first thing is, some people are facing a plateau. Maybe they are struggling speaking and it's just very difficult. Or they're trying to listen to a podcast or YouTube videos and it's just a wall of sound. Well, sometimes that could be a factor of, okay, you just need to speak more or practice listening more. But a lot of times, really the problem is you don't know enough vocabulary words, or you don't know the words that you do kind of you're exposed to well enough. And really, if you just picked up more words, you'd learn those words that you already were exposed to a lot better. That's going to get you over that hurdle of the listening problem that you're facing, or the speaking problem, or even just trying to read. Always be learning words. If you're looking at like what's the single biggest thing that I can do to get better right now, learn words. And there's just so many different ways to do that, right? If you're just starting out, probably the flashcard system is probably a solid way to go, right? It's not the most enjoyable for some people, but using a system like Memrise or Anki or something like that can get you a good foundation to start with, at least, right? Focus on those 1,000 most common words that you'll see, right? You're going to see the word the again and again. You're going to see, he or she again and again. Get those words down, right? Because when you read stuff in a foreign language, you're going to see those words. When you're listening to audio content, you're going to hear it. And when you speak, you're probably going to use those words as well. So that's like the easy step, right? Get the most common words. And then after that, continue to just pound more words, get more words, because that is going to be the big thing that really just accelerates your progress forward. At some point too, it's going to be difficult to use the flashcard system to get even more words from that base foundation, right? A couple thousand words, right? Because chances are you'll be learning kind of vocabulary lists or things like that maybe aren't super relevant, right? Maybe you've learned a bunch of words or terminology related to the hospital, but it's like, how often are you using that in your conversation with your group of friends or your conversation partner? Or how often are you encountering that in terms of the content that you listen to? So, at some point, I think it's worthwhile to try to transition into picking up vocabulary kind of in a more natural and relaxed state, right? This is where you're reading in a foreign language, and slowly over time, by reading, you're getting more words, or when you're doing listening. Eventually, I think the flashcard system definitely starts to become less and less useful, but especially in the beginning and intermediate phase, that is so critical. Getting those words can be so huge. And the thing is, once you've gotten that foundation of, the 1,000 most common words, or, at least a good foundation beyond that, you can do so many things with the language, right? You can start playing video games and learning a language at the same time. You can start watching Netflix shows. You can listen to podcasts. You might not understand everything, but with at least a rough foundation of words, you can start enjoying content, right? And that's the thing. At the beginning stages, you want to get past this beginner phase, which is kind of fun. There's this novelty, but eventually the novelty will wear off, and you want to get past that and into compelling content. And really the best way to get there is learning a lot of words, right? Obviously be exposed to stuff like grammar, but the grammar is going to come, right? You're slowly going to internalize that over time. You'll get better at speaking, you'll get better at listening, but if you want to do the most high value action, chances are, for most people, it's going to be learning a ton of words. That's going to be the key thing. So this is what I had to say about word acquisition. Let me know what you think. How do you approach learning new words? What do you think? Leave a comment below, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.